Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 3,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 100 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
This is your main man RJ from the Ringside Rant, heard only on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. So go over and subscribe across all your major platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher to hear every great interview I have every Monday on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. Go over and follow the show's page on Twitter @_Ringside Rant. Follow the network's page @BizWrestleNet. And, as always, embrace the vision.
Hello, friends. This is Spencer Love, your host of Over the Top Rope on the Win Column Sports Network. Don't forget you can head to wincolumnsports.ca for all of your previews, reviews, and breaking news from the world of wrestling, be it your major promotions or from the great province of Alberta, Canada. Now, back to Sounds of Struggle with your hosts, Chris Perish and Meniac.
We're back with episode 110 of the Sounds of Struggle.
110.
No, that was a nickname I had in high school.
There you go. This is your episode. I'll stay quiet.
Just saying. 110. And yeah, I'm Chris Perish.
And I am 109? Mr. 109? Sure, let's go with that.
That was last week. Way more in the past.
It's comfortable there.
Why can't you be 110 too?
Because I was never called 110. I'll be 111. I'm looked into the future.
I technically just called you 110.
No, I don't want to be that. There can't be more. There can only be one.
Okay, fine. I'm the 1, you're the 10.
10.
Yeah. And for anybody who needs clarification about what happened in the world of professional wrestling in Alberta from last week,
We're starting wrestling. Let's go there.
just saying, I'm still contracted to Monster Pro Wrestling.
For now.
So, apparently a lot of people were asking me, hey, are you still with MPW? Are you done with MPW? I am still with MPW.
For now.
So, it was a neutral playing field, and let's just say I took an opportunity and made the most of it.
For now.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice to feel like you can change the scene once in a while.
Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah. But, for anybody who hasn't heard, yes, that dream match between Pride and MRB in Radway, Alberta was wrecked by yours truly, who attacked both guys and declared they're not the best in Alberta. I am.
There we have it.
And if they have anything to rebuttal with, well, then let's get this party started.
Our podcast is open. Come on.
We don't bite.
Yeah, we do.
Just, well, maybe not. Maybe after the first drink.
No, I'll do it sober. I don't care.
Well,
just stay on Parish's side.
As long as there's alcohol.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, yeah. We don't have to start with wrestling. I just felt we needed to start with that.
Yeah, might as well. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's get into wrestling.
Yeah. Well, we did have NXT UK Takeover.
Takeover Blackpool.
The first ever UK first ever UK Takeover.
Yes. And might I say, good show.
Yeah.
Jolly good show. Over Bean.
The fans were, speaking of alcohol, how many alcoholic beverages did those fans have?
All of them.
Yeah.
That's a dry city now.
Yeah.
Not by choice.
Yeah, they
had a good time.
It's not really Blackpool because they drank that pool dry.
I would say it's Blackpool because I puked in the pool after I got drunk. But either way.
Well, they blacked out in the
Blacked
pool?
out in the pool.
Huh.
Amazingly survived somehow.
Yeah.
Blacked out pool.
So, yeah, we saw... What?
The first match was arguably, in my opinion, the best. The Tag Team Championship.
Definitely the best tag match of the night.
Definitely the best tag. Nobody could touch this tag match.
Yeah.
It was the Grizzled Young Vets versus Mustache Mountain. And we didn't call this one right.
No.
Grizzled Young Vets, Zach Gibson and James Drake actually won this match. And I was totally okay with it because that was a hell of a good match. It was so good.
And I think a lot was, I just assumed that they were going to make other changes. So that's why I personally went with Mustache Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did too.
So, right off the bat, any momentum I had from Wrestle Kingdom, kicked in the nuts.
Right in the dick.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Sometimes that happens. And you know what? Caught me by surprise and I liked it. Just shows that you can't always call it. But hell of a good match. New champs. And new! And I'm okay with it.
Well, for the first time ever, we have NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Grizzled Young Vets.
Vets mean veterans.
Yeah.
They don't work on animals.
No. Bestiality is wrong.
Yes, it is. The next match, we had a no contest between Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks.
Yep.
Because Devlin just attacked him. Before the show even started, we saw a backstage thing, and then Jordan Devlin just kept attacking him like on the way to the ring, and Travis Banks ended up not being able to compete. So Johnny Saint, in his infinite wisdom, decided, hey, we know what you guys are up to. We have a backup plan. And out comes, cue the erotic scream of Mrs. Meniac, Finn Balor!
The man who trained Jordan Devlin.
It was a student versus teacher match, and they delivered.
You know what's absolutely mind-blowing, though, about this?
What's that?
The fact that you could not hear Finn Balor's music at one point because it was that fucking loud in the building.
Yeah, that place was crazy loud.
Like,
crazy loud.
Absolutely just mind-boggling of how over that guy was right then and there.
Yeah.
So, very curious to see if they will use any other main roster talents from that area and to help.
I think going forward you might see, maybe a Sheamus, Cesaro,
Becky Lynch. Maybe
never heard of her.
Paige.
Maybe. Maybe Paige doing like a guest.
Iconics.
Yeah. Well, they're Australian, but yeah, you could. Yeah, it's possible.
But,
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. Finn Balor going over. But yeah, that one was good.
That one see, I'm not in a way I'm not surprised that Balor won because of the push he is getting right now and the rub he has as he is now, spoiler, the new number one contender for the Universal title.
Is he now?
Yeah.
We'll have to go into that after, but I have not watched much of Raw, so you'll have to explain how that works with Braun Strowman after.
Yeah. But I'm just kind of curious because it looked like Devlin seemed like he was in line to be, and still, I guess still does, but he's in line to be one of the top mid-card heels of that brand, and I felt like maybe a win for him was more needed.
True, but against somebody who's on the main roster, I can see why they did it. I see him going forward. He'll be angry. He'll wreak havoc, etc. etc.
I'm not upset with it. I'm just kind of surprised that
Yeah.
Let's just say at least I enjoyed the match, and
Yeah.
Uh,
And then third match is a no disqualification match between Bomber Dave Mastiff and lanky Eddie Dennis.
Yeah.
And you know what? I liked it. It was straightforward. 11 minutes of just hard hitting. Using weapons, and yeah. Dave Mastiff goes over. Enjoyable match.
Just like he did in the match they had before.
Yeah. I think they're building Dave Mastiff up to be kind of a behemoth, hulking figure. And I think what we talked about off air, I think the problem with Eddie Dennis, he's too tall to be a regular sized guy, so he's considered big by most, but he's not big enough to be considered, a monster among monsters. He's kind of in like an awkward in between stage. Hence why he's lanky, he's tall, but he doesn't really fully look like it.
Well, my thing is, like, if everyone who said that, okay, well, Adam Cole
Bye-bye.
is too small for the main roster.
Yes.
Now, he might be small compared to what your average worker is on the main roster.
Compared to Braun Strowman.
So, him getting a bigger frame, would be beneficial. But he also has, amazing mic work. He also has an amazing charisma. That doesn't bode with Eddie Davis, I find. He's not like an impressive microphone guy.
I haven't heard enough microphone work by him yet to judge.
To me, I don't think... To me, it just comes off like he's trying too hard to be something that he's not comfortable playing.
Okay. So you think he may need a mouthpiece?
I think not only a mouthpiece, but I also think that they're trying to dial him up too much, and they just got to dial him back down a little bit more.
Fair enough. Okay. This is not to say that I don't like his character. Actually, I enjoy him as a heel. I don't mind him at all. Yeah. I just I can see why some people, such as yourself, don't or can't get behind him as much.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm sure this is really old news, and I'm actually positive that we've covered this. Did you know that there's a UK Performance Center?
Yeah. Well, they just opened that up.
I was because I'm pretty sure we talked about how they were breaking ground on it, or like they were building it.
Well,
but I completely forgot. And there's pictures of Finn Balor in the UK Performance Center. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, I think the last time we talked was when we started hearing about that. It was in place, it was happening, and then now it's actually officially opened.
Yeah.
So, that's probably probably why you remember hearing about it or talking about it before.
Yeah. Okay, next match is the Women's UK Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm. And this one shocked me.
This one was by far, this day,
the best women's match on this card.
I don't know. We were just talking about Eddie. I'm just kidding. Yes, it was the best women's match on this card. It was actually a really good match.
It was.
I'm just very, very baffled by the decision that they ended up
I'm not
going. Like, to me, it's like, I'm not upset that Toni Storm defeated Rhea Ripley to become the new NXT Women's Champion.
No!
What I'm baffled is that Rhea Ripley, from a timeline stand, maybe like in actual time, won the title a few months back.
Yes.
But timeline-wise, didn't feel like it was like honestly felt like it was just last month. She won.
I think they debuted it about a month ago on TV. So by TV standards, it's about a month. Really.
And for me, it was just so. It just doesn't line up with so many things. It's like, okay, you're just starting to get behind, this chase. You're just starting to get behind this feud. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we're changing the tide. So now it's like, okay, I kind of lose faith in, okay, what direction are they going to? Is Rhea Ripley even going to be the next challenger?
I would assume she gets a rematch. My thing is...
However, but no longer do immediate rematches exist in WWE.
But that could just be main roster. We don't know that, right?
Well, if Triple H is saying it, you have to think it's NXT.
That's true. I personally think she will get a rematch. I think she doesn't win. I think she gets called up. I think she's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble, and I think she stays up. I think that's. I think that be maybe where they're headed.
I think Toni Storm is in the Women's Royal Rumble too. I think there's 2, possibly 3 NXT UK women,
and then 2 to 3 NXT women.
I think there might be at least 5 to 6, to be honest.
Maybe.
I mean,
but I personally think that's the way the direction they're going now is that she keeps getting compared to Charlotte, which she said she hates. But I get it. You want to be your own person, but she could be the raw version of Charlotte.
Who's hotter, Charlotte or Rhea Ripley?
Well, that's like a 1A, 1B kind of thing. I don't know.
I like Rhea Ripley. I'm going to say she gets my vote.
That's, for argument's sake, I'll say Charlotte, but that's splitting C hairs there, bud. That's way too close to call. They're both dime pieces.
To me, it was like, for me, it's just I just don't understand. Like, if you're gonna put Rhea over for the title, why change it so quickly? I'm just very. I guess now I'm just very curious on what they do next.
Maybe solely because,
but like
partly shock and awe because it worked. I did not expect Toni to win.
Okay, but here's I guess another thing too. Did the leaks that came out for Toni Storm to have everyone talking about her and the attention that she got, maybe she got a positive following out of that and stuff like that. Did that maybe?
I'd like to say no, because I remember when the previous nudes leaked for several others that but like, nobody got pushed, or like the storyline stayed the same or whatever.
But also none of those women were really in that position either, right?
Which position are we talking? Like, Paige was pretty big when those came out.
She wasn't wrestling though.
It's true.
She was on the shelf.
Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, when those came out.
Alexa Bliss ones were fake.
There's one that's not.
There's one they're fake.
The Charlotte ones, when they came out, she was on top. She stayed on top.
Yeah, but she's a different story because she's always been on top whenever she was on the roster.
Yeah, but based on that, you say this is a different story and that this is just the way they're going to go anyways.
It's not like, to me, it's like, oh, you saw, something with Ember Moon right before she had an opportunity.
That's true, but again, as you said, that's a different story. I mean,
or like Bayley.
This is very possibly just the way they're going. Yeah.
But I wonder.
We don't know.
I just wonder if that's the thing. Like, if people are like, okay, she's in the headlines, like she's, the most popular female by far in that brand.
Yeah.
Like, so, or it's a way to make her more exclusive to NXT and not so much other companies, which she has worked.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I do hear that they're trying to sign some of their NXT/NXT UK talent, but more so their UK talent, to more exclusive WWE contracts.
That's very possible. I think personally the nude pictures have nothing to do with it. I think this is more strictly professional business on the UK brand's part.
Well, you'd hope, but we're also talking about a company that, put the heavyweight title on Rey Mysterio after Eddie passed away.
That's true.
So,
that's true. And the fact that, he became so incredibly popular because of how close he was with Guerrero. Yep. That had something to do with it. I think that he should have gotten it regardless. But again, that's just a whole different debate because nobody died here. It was just...
No, I know, but there is that example of, something happened in the news, they act quick on it.
There is that potential, yes. But I think personally, it's best just not to think about that. It's best to, if you're that kind of person, enjoy the picture. If not, then don't, and just enjoy the product that's being put out now by NXT.
You don't want to think about the nudes?
Seen them, moving on. I've done my time with them. Then we get to the main event. The almost 45-minute main event. It was almost an Iron Man match. It was very good. I honestly could not tell you who I thought was going to win between Pete Dunne and Joe Coffey. Phenomenal match. Joe Coffey, stellar heel. Loved it. Surprise, surprise, Pete Dunne retains.
Yeah. Now, there was a spot in that match where Coffey was on the rope, Dunne goes up, and they end up falling over.
I think it was planned.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was going to say.
they made it look like it wasn't. Because there was a moment there, I'm like, holy shit, did they just fall? But I think that they made it purposely look like that.
Because the way it looked to me was both men were ready at that point.
Yeah. But to show the exhaustion and the...
But that's exactly what I mean. It's like maybe they didn't have enough at that time to retain, and that's part of it. To me, I thought that was... I 100% believe that was a planned spot. But with that being said, I very much like it because I think it made people second guess on whether or not that was supposed to happen.
And I think that was fantastic because it ended up happening once where they both went outside, but I think it happened once before or once after. I can't remember if it happened before or after, where Pete Dunne ended up pushing Joe Coffey to the outside.
Yeah.
But either way, it was surprising. It was awesome. The match, even though it was almost 45 minutes, stood on the edge of your seat. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
No interference. It was just straight two men fighting.
Now, is that the part that surprises you the most about this match?
Little bit.
More so the fact they got 45 minutes?
No. The 45 minutes, that's
but I mean,
good for them.
No,
but no, the no interference has surprised me just because Joe Coffey has Mark, his brother, and then Wolfgang. They're in some sort of trio tandem thing.
And then you have British Strong Style.
Which could have set something up. Maybe they don't want to do that yet.
But I mean, that's what I mean. Like, you have they announce the fact that Pete Dunne has been UK champion for 600 days during his entrance.
Which, again, I thought that was another indication, oh shit, he's losing.
So it's like, okay, he retains it. And you're like, whoa, okay, maybe didn't think that. Then you're like, okay, easy. Both men are involved in trio groups. Boom, no interference at all. Surprising. Mm-hmm. And then the fact, wow, they got 45 minutes.
It was
surprising.
Cool.
It was very much not a match that you expected.
No.
To see.
And 45 hard-hitting minutes.
Yeah.
And each guy took several finishers. Pete Dunne took his own finish.
Mm-hmm.
It was just... there was, I think, at least 5 different opportunities throughout that match where I thought it was over. That was it.
I know as when this pod comes out, we're, 17 days into this new year? That's the standard for 2019 for WWE Match of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Main roster NXT.
Which I think NXT Phoenix, I think they'll be able to keep up. Surpass it? I don't know. That was a hell of a good match.
I do think Gargano Ricochet has a very
they have
good
potential,
shot.
yeah. I think Ciampa and Black have potential.
Yeah.
And I think actually the tag of...
War Raiders and Undisputed Era.
That's also... But, I mean, we'll get into that next week. That's for a later day.
Here's another fantasy match I saw. Because I had saw the Grizzled Young Vets, their semi-match.
Yeah.
Against... who was it? It was...
Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
Yes. I want to see the Revival against the Grizzled Young Vets.
That'd be good.
I think that'd be a very good match.
Which we'll talk a little bit about that later.
And then I want to see Mustache Mountain against the Usos.
That would also be good. Actually, I want to see Mustache Mountain versus Revival. That would also be very, very good. There's a lot of dream matches that could potentially happen. But anyways, the big shock, which had me squealing like a schoolgirl at the end, was out of nowhere after the match, and Pete Dunne raises his hands. He's the winner. Out comes Walter! And I completely forgot they signed him. They did a really good job of, we signed him, and then kind of just pushed it aside.
But maybe that, I'm also going to say this. Walter's not a giant name in North America.
He's a big name, but...
He's a bigger name.
He's a big guy.
He's a bigger name in the UK than he is
in Europe.
100%.
Huge over there.
Not saying, nobody knew who he was.
But no, the ovation he got was big.
He might... I don't think that was the biggest ovation of the night, though.
Balor was probably the biggest.
Yeah.
He got the second
Walter was
biggest.
a close, too.
Yeah, but I did not expect it. I'm excited. I looking so forward to see a match between Walter and Pete Dunne. I think would be great. I could see Walter taking the title off him and Pete Dunne actually moving up to the main roster.
Now, would they do a one-on-one, or are they going to tease a triple threat? Because they teased that moment when Coffey tried to get in, and then Walter just booted him the fuck out.
It's possible. It is possible.
All
I can say is that
I'm very intrigued on both, and I do think the style of match between Dunne and Walter is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a bruiserweight versus straight-up brawler, I think is fantastic.
Also, by the way, if you're a heel and you wanted to make fun of either a cruiserweight or a bruiserweight, come on. It's right there. Loserweight. Just going to point it out.
Yeah, there's that.
Just saying. I thought of that, and I was like, ooh. I wonder if somebody's actually ever going to use that.
I'm sure someone probably has. Anyways, that I can't wait to see that match. I think personally, whether it's Joe Coffey or Walter or someone else, I think by Mania we're not going to have Pete Dunne as a UK champion.
No.
I think he's going to move up fairly soon because they seem to be doing just a few people every once in a while moving up. I think he'll be one of the next waves.
Would British Strong Style be
that'd be cool
as a trio, or is it just Pete Dunne?
Bring him to SmackDown because there's already 2 trios there. Bring another one. Why not? Start a 6-man title. I mean, we don't have enough titles.
Yeah, but this is going to transition to something else. We hear about a lot of talent reportedly leaving WWE.
Yes, there is a few. Which, on a side note, Trevor Lee just signed with WWE.
Yes,
which is awesome.
Which I believe was Monday.
Yes, it was.
Sunday or Monday? Oh no, it was actually. It was I think Saturday. To be honest,
it might have been. I don't know. I was working all weekend. But yes. Now back to your point of people leaving. Apparently, both the Kanellises and rumored the Revival have all asked for their release.
Yeah.
And there's also a rumor going around that I guess Dash Wilder has gone after the trademark #FTR, which I think is great. And if this is true, I really do hope that all of them will end up in AEW. That would be huge. Because the Revival versus the Bucks would be so good.
Well, I think that's a match everybody wants to see.
So good.
But
there seems to be no conflicting reports for Kanellises that I've seen in the brief time that you told me about it tonight. But the Revival, there's been conflicting reports. But I'm hearing that all of those are kind of like, they haven't given them the release yet. They're trying to keep them. And they're
you can ask for a release, but I mean, just ask Neville, a.k.a. Puck. You don't always get it.
No, it's true.
Even Punk had the same thing.
Yep,
he walked out and never got a release until later.
Yep, no, that's
on the day of his wedding, actually.
But that's and actually I have something about that we can get into after with someone not getting a release. But I think WWE would probably come off looking pretty bad right now if they just stop letting people go, especially if like Mike Kanellis, I guess he's getting used in the 205 now, but I mean, for the longest time he wasn't. The Revival is...
Well, he was also battling addiction.
He was injured. And that's very true.
Injured, birth of a daughter.
Yep, but and then the Revival, they get used, but in my opinion, they're not being used properly.
No.
Again, that's just that's a very subjective thing to say, but...
the tag team division is a lot different. It's outside of the main roster.
Shambles.
Like, it's just... There's no direction.
The NXT and hopefully NXT UK will be run the same, and they'll be good. But the main roster tag champions are just, other than the main feud, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, here's case in point. Who are your tag champions on Raw? Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, two people who aren't a tag team thrown together. And
they're making it work, but...
And they beat the Authors of Pain, who beat Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, who was a thrown-together tag team, more or less. They were never an actual tag team.
Yeah, you could argue that they're part of the Shield, but they were thrown together solely for the point to get their angle over.
But also, who did they beat? They beat Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, also a thrown-together tandem.
You're not wrong. It just
There's
seems
history of that show and that roster because they also beat the B team, which really not an established tag team.
They became established, but they weren't originally. They ended up kind of. It's kind of like Cesaro and Sheamus. They were kind of thrown together by chance and then made it work.
Yeah. And then they ended up beating a thrown together tag team in Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a revolving door of thrown together tandems where actual tag teams just aren't getting that look and that opportunity.
Yeah, the ones that are brought in like Authors of Pain, like Sanity, like Uso,
Gallows and Anderson,
Revival,
even the Colognes.
You know what? Even New Day, because they've been together for so long now. Which I get it. There are teams that it's tough because on one hand, how can you be a tag team?
It's like almost like 4.5 years now.
It's like if you're a single competitor, how could you ever become a tag team then? I get it. You have to allow guys to be thrown together and work, but there are those who they're tag team specialists, like the Usos, like the Revival. That's what they do.
Yeah,
that's their thing. They can wrestle singles, but their thing is tag team. It's kind of a blessing and a curse.
It's like a hockey team signing a playmaker, but asking him to be a penalty killer and asking other players to be a playmaker when it just doesn't fit.
It's like signing McDavid to a contract saying, we're going to give you $12 million a year, you have to be our goon.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense. Well, for some. But there are some that we've actually had really good tag teams come out of it, to be fair.
Hey, to be honest, he is the Oilers goon because when he touches the puck, he bullies other teams, brother.
There you go. And before we get into, we have one more signing before we get into a contract dispute, we'll say. International star Rush. Not Leo Rush, just Rush.
Band?
Sure. Signs with Ring of Honor. He was actually one of the co-founders of Los Ingobernables with La Sombra, who is also known as Andrade Cien Almas now.
Yeah, who is no longer Andrade Cien Almas, just Andrade.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. It's stupid. I know.
It's so stupid. You make a name for yourself with one name and then out of the blue for no reason.
I honestly think this is Vince McMahon 101 not remembering talents' names.
That's possible. That is possible. It's been done. Let's see. Adrian Neville down to Neville. Antonio Cesaro down to Cesaro. Now Andrade Cien Almas to
Rusev.
Andrade. What the fuck was his first name?
Alexander Rusev.
Alexander Rusev. See, I don't even remember his name now.
Big
down
E.
to Rusev. Big E Langston down to Big E.
Like, just so many guys.
Yeah.
Cesaro, Antonio Cesaro.
Yep, got that. There's so many, though.
I mean...
Big Van Vader to Vader.
Well, that one I think I understood, because I don't think WWE owned the right to Big Van Vader.
Maybe. But
it's
still.
like Rhino with, he's an I everywhere else, but in WWE he's a Y.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But there's just I think Lars Sullivan is just going to be known as Lars at one point. I almost
or Sullivan.
guarantee.
I can see either one. I can see.
Well, he has Lars on his gear, so.
Man. I could see.
either. Elias Sampson.
The Drifter, Elias Sampson, down to Elias. You're right. There's another one. I'm sure there's tons we're forgetting.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. It's just, it seems to be a thing. It's like you have a thing and it's working well, and then Vince goes and, for lack of a better term, MPWs it and changes it all.
Yeah.
Based on one person's, I'll get better this way. But anyways.
And that's another thing too. It's like he was CN with the 100, and it's just, I don't know, it fit. It was real.
He made it his.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, you're just gonna change Kofi Kingston to Kofi.
You could change it to just Woods
or Xavier,
just to Cena, Orton, Lesnar.
Yeah. Oh, Apollo Crews.
Apollo. Yeah, you're right. There's another one.
So, I mean... Yeah, a few guys have had this, and it just baffles my mind.
I would like to know. I don't really care. I mean, it's not my company. It's whatever. It doesn't really take much to get used to what.
I wonder if more.
I just want to know why.
If more people like speak out or like still like just reference him to his. Maybe he gets like super over in the crowd. Just
I guarantee you sign there. You're going to be known as Perish. You're not going to have a first name.
It's really fine because I mean everyone calls me that anyway.
Well, that's true. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's why. And again, I'm curious as to if it's that or if there's some marketing formula we have no knowledge of that it sells better with one name, like Cher or Madonna, Prince. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. I don't fucking know. Seems to work pretty well for Meniac.
You had initials, MD.
Yeah, at one point, and I dropped him.
Yeah.
Under the advisement of Paul Levesque. That never happened.
No, the MD did not stand for massive damage.
No. No one has gotten it right still to this day. No one has gotten right to what that actually means. I'm still waiting. You know what? Anyone who come up to me, if they see me wherever, take a stab at it. You get it right, they'll get you a t-shirt or something.
It's also not Mega Dick.
Or Mega Death. Don't mind the band, but I'm not that much of a fan. Well, they did do my first theme, so I can see why you think that. But, yeah. Anyways, if you think of it, come talk to me. Or message me on the internets. I'm fairly easy to get a hold of. Everything at WrestleMania. But anyway, that's not the point. Moving on to, did you hear about Ivelisse in Lucha Underground?
No.
She, first of all, great female wrestler. She'd do really well in AEW, Impact.
I wanted her badly to win the second Tough Enough.
Oh, for sure, yeah. She's great talent. Also, not bad to look at.
No, not at all.
She claims that she's actually been trapped into a contract with Lucha Underground and they won't release her. I guess she's been battling it for all of Season 3 and they said that she has to do Season 4 before they release her. And she didn't want to go and release this statement on the internet, but she feels trapped and helpless and there's nothing, it seems like nothing she can do. Do you think it's right to go and just talk like that? I mean, I know you feel helpless, you're looking for help or something like that. Maybe getting it out there, people will be like, hey, let her go, and then they'll just get rid of a contract. But it seems a little unprofessional to me.
Yeah, but we also don't know.
But I mean, there could be more.
If there is unprofessional coming from the other side as well.
This is very true, and that's why I'm saying I want to discuss this. So
I think clearly I would need more to the story of what did Lucha do that was in Ivelisse's, maybe her eyes, a breach contract, or why does she want out?
I guess from what I've heard, and I did a little bit of research. This is mostly speculation. She can't do a lot of shows based on they have local TV and stuff, and therefore she can't do it. So she's losing bookings because of it. And Lucha Underground, they do a ton of shooting, episode after episode after episode, and then there's nothing for months.
I mean, this is you also have to know what you're getting yourself into,
and that is true.
So I mean, again, I would just need to know more about the details.
I also wouldn't be surprised if an AEW, an Impact, maybe WWE, someone was looking at her.
Well, I mean, AEW they're going to need more women eventually.
They've got 3 right now.
Do they have 3?
Well, Penelope Ford with Joey Janela. She can wrestle. She
is
also a dime piece.
Yeah. But I don't think Brandy's there to wrestle.
I bet you she'll occasionally wrestle, if need be.
I mean, she might, I guess. Yeah. But
I bet you she'll do the Stephanie McMahon, where it's she'll wrestle occasionally, but for the most part, she's kind of Yeah, but I mean, I can't see why she'd want to stop wrestling.
It's going to be very interesting to see if the WWE picks up more women right now.
Solely because of that?
Because I'll almost bet people like a Jordan Grace will probably end up going to AEW at some point.
Yeah, she just wasn't. She's just started going to Impact, but she's also just started, I think, Progress now. And yeah, she's
Progress
she's
also
getting big real quick.
Progress also has a very deep connection though to the big time.
With the UK now, especially for NXT. Yeah.
So, but I mean, if
honestly, she could do well wherever. I enjoy watching her wrestle too. She's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if people.
What about a Rachel Ellerling or Rachel Evers? Because as far as I know, she's not contracted to anybody right now.
No, also quite possible. I was also even thinking, who's the like a Tessa Blanchard?
She's Impact, last I heard.
Yeah.
She's actually Impact champion, but I have no idea where her contract's at. Maybe she...
I heard she actually lost it. I'm not too sure about that, though.
Well, but yeah, I don't know if her contract's up or what the deal is,
but
maybe something's going on there.
Okay.
So Tessa Blanchard would be... Obviously, that's like half of the match that stole
Chelsea
the show.
Green for sure signed with WWE.
Oh, yeah, she's been doing NXT stuff constantly now.
Yeah, okay.
So she's gone. But they could, in theory, get 3/4 of that match.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a Zack Ryder leave and go there. Or Kurt Hawkins. Those guys.
Those ones would surprise me mildly, only because how big of fans they are and how through everything that's gone on, they haven't left yet.
Yeah,
They might.
Kurt Hawkins has left before.
Didn't he get released? Pretty sure he was released.
Still
but still, yeah. Not by his choice, but
still
yes.
has ventures outside of WWE that would work.
That's true. I could see if they get let go, absolutely, they'll be there in a heartbeat for sure because of the, especially Zach's ties with Cody and Brandy and all the stuff they do at Disneyland and all that. I get that, but I can't see them asking for a release. They're that, especially Zach being there over 10 years and just gutting it out.
Yeah, but he might be sick and tired of gutting it out.
Maybe he is. That is true.
Who would be the one big name from WWE?
Probably Chris Jericho.
No. That right now works for WWE, but you're not like, you know what? Maybe from this time in the next, between now and let's say a year, who would be like, okay, he's gonna switch?
Wow, like that. Like you think he's fed up?
Just would leave WWE, go to AEW.
I said a week or two
regardless
ago.
of reason, just
yeah. I think I said last week Revival, which might happen, which would be awesome, but that's beside the point. Who else? Depending on how much money's thrown at them and what the situation and how they're feeling, I could see the Good Brothers. Gallows and Anderson, why not?
I can see Rusev, Lana.
Potentially, yeah.
AJ.
That one...
Nakamura
I can see because of the ties to New Japan, but AJ...
But they also still are doing shows in the States.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida is close to where he lives.
No, that's very true.
Still by the beach, then he loves to surf. He actually said he doesn't want to move back to Japan anytime soon.
Well, there you go. I can see Nakamura more so than Styles. I don't know. Not that I'm saying he wouldn't, because, given the right circumstance, they're apparently throwing out some nice bonuses and stuff.
What about Dolph Ziggler?
Dolph Ziggler I could definitely see. Not saying that he will, for sure, but, I could see under the right circumstance, absolutely. Same with Zack Ryder. Under the right circumstance, absolutely. I don't think he'd necessarily leave on his own. He might wait for his contract to run out. I think he'll still keep trying. And if they start giving him stuff, I think he'll stay. But if they don't give him anything, I think he'd leave.
I'll also give you one more name. Bray Wyatt.
He hasn't done a ton lately, hey? Maybe. That's definitely possible. It would be very interesting to see him in that. Very interesting.
And another name, Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens is under contract for a while now.
Yeah, he
Sami
did just
Zayn,
sign.
that one would interest me. If I was him,
It depends.
If he does not like his position, when
it all depends on coming back, what they have for him, and all that stuff. I could see after contract, I could see both Kevin and Sami both going.
Because Kevin Owens, from what I understand, just signed a new 5-year deal.
Yeah, I could see after 5 years,
which is apparently the length of contract both Young Bucks signed.
Yeah,
and then Jericho signed a 3-year deal apparently.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, how about on a separate note, but similar? How about names of like WWE alumni that could show up to
Goldust?
You think so?
I think Goldust makes so much sense from a backstage role.
Yep.
That it's just, I'm just waiting for it. I honestly think it's just.
What about, I got another tag team name, but more so for backstage for one of them. What about the Hardys? Matt more backstage, but have Jeff go.
Possibly, but I think Matt has also expressed interest of returning to the ring in WWE in 2019.
Okay, that'd be cool.
I don't know. I'm just not too sure if they... I don't know. They're wild cards to me. Yeah, I don't know.
But it's going to be, again, as we said last week, it's going to be very interesting going forward because there's a lot that's going to happen within the next year. It's going to be exciting as hell.
Yeah.
Especially because we're in the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, Mania season, man.
It's still technically pre-Mania, but I mean, we just finished. We're building to the Rumble. Sorry, we just finished Christmas, New Year's, World Juniors. We're approaching Rumble and the start of WrestleMania season. It's a good time. Just a good time in general.
Do you hear the rumors that Ryback is apparently on the radar for AEW?
Really? Interesting. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Has he gotten better as a worker?
Couldn't tell you.
Fair enough. The other one I could see, and this is I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying this is like a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. If he was ever to come back, CM Punk. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying if for whatever reason he was wanting to return to wrestling, ever, AEW makes sense.
Now, I think a lot of people will initially say AEW. But Kenny Omega still will not surprise me if he chooses WWE over.
No, honestly, either one. Because they're both offering him apparently multi-million-dollar deals.
Yeah.
I can see him going either way.
I honestly do believe it's all about star power right now. I'll almost guarantee you the money is pretty much even.
Huh?
Or because I don't know how much money you'll be getting, but I bet you anything it's close to the $500,000 a year.
Oh, I've heard way more than that. I've heard WWE offered him $3 million, for a three-year deal, or whatever. But it's $3 million a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I know that with the deep pockets and him being an integral part, I'm willing to bet money. I'm willing to bet $3 million.
You know guys like Xavier Woods are pushing hard.
Oh, for sure.
Hard.
Oh, for
Seth
sure.
Rollins lobbying hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a little bit of a stir made on Twitter the other day when somebody posted a match of Heath Slater versus Kenny Omega back in FCW.
Yeah.
Or no, Ohio Valley Champion, or Ohio Valley Wrestling. Back
OVW.
Yeah, it's 06.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all Twitter's all abuzz about that. I don't know. I'm excited to see where this goes. I could see in a year Marty Scurll being part of AEW.
Yeah,
I think he's got a year left, and I think he'll end up going there.
Yeah, I think that one's just.
That's a matter of time.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me, but it would shock me a little bit if we saw him in NXT. Just because of how close he was with, the Bucks and Cody and.
Well, and then Deonna Purrazzo is in NXT.
Yeah, I could see him going there. It would shock me a little bit, but not a ton.
But at the same time, Britt Baker goes to AEW, and her boyfriend WWE.
Yep.
So,
but maybe it's because they weren't expressing interest in her in that moment, and she just took advantage. But anyways,
who would be the big name woman to leave?
Leave.
I'd be like, whoa, that's a big one.
Big name woman. Huh. I can see Ember Moon leaving.
I can see Bayley leaving.
I don't know. She's kind of the same as Zack Ryder. It's just she's got that. I mean, again, it's possible. It's very possible, but I just, especially with this tag division now, I think it's possible, but difficult to see it.
Mickey James definitely could see it.
Oh, that I could see for sure. I actually also see Nick Aldis signing if he ends up losing when he ends up losing the
I still
NWA title.
I still think that guy is a WWE guy.
Should be. Absolutely should be.
I think he fits the mold that WWE
Oh,
wants
absolutely.
perfectly.
But I can see him actually signing with AEW once his... And maybe he actually takes the NWA title there. That would be impressive.
Yeah.
Still does outside gigs and stuff like that and defends it, but, brings it to AEW as well. That'd be really impressive. Anyways, let's move on to what do you want to do? Do you want to get into NFL playoffs, or do you want to do hockey first?
Might as well get hockey out of the way. It's not really a lot out of hockey.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Well, it depends on what you consider.
I can blast through a bunch of them. Like Matt Duchene, his wife just gave birth to a baby boy, so congratulations to him. The Team Canada Under 18 women's team won gold at IHF Worlds. They beat U.S., so that's good news.
Oh yeah, that's always Canada U.S. gold medal game.
That's not, lately, I guess Sweden and Russia have been getting better, but still, it's there's been a couple trades. The Ducks traded Cogliano to the Stars for Devon Shore.
They did just trade Pontus Aberg to the Wild as well.
Really? Who did they get back for it?
Couldn't even tell you the guy's name.
Fair enough. Blackhawks acquired defenseman Slater Kokek, however the hell you say his name. The guy from Lightning. And a 5th-round pick for, they traded away Rudda and a 7th-round pick. I don't know how I feel about that, because overall Rudda had Blackhawks' best numbers this year, and they just traded him away. I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Well, they traded Schmaltz away, who's now out for the year.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, coincidence, but yeah. And then there's a couple of things going on. Did you hear about the whole Bobrovsky situation?
Yeah.
What do you think happened there? Because for anyone who didn't know, Blue Jackets ended up going online and saying that Bobrovsky was going to sit a game, I think it was this past Thursday, against Nashville as a form of discipline, stating that an incident occurred with Bobrovsky and because of it, the team would be holding him out of the lineup, and could he be on his way out? Because I know there's been contract negotiations stuff going on.
Well, he is a pending UFA at the end of the season. He is definitely on the TSN trade bait board.
Yeah. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, he has an incident.
I think he probably is very frustrated with the fact that he isn't getting a new contract. I think he's probably frustrated with the management in Columbus for not having stability past this season. I think the fact that he wasn't the starting goalie on opening day probably bugs him.
Yeah.
I think, and that's probably what it is. He's just not feeling that the team is looking at their future with him involved in it, and that's souring him. So I think...
My question is, what was the disciplinary thing? Do you think he skipped practice?
That's what I'm thinking. I honestly don't think it's anything gigantic, off the field. I think it's
You think he's just hey, fuck, I'm not going to practice today?
I think it could, or he was late for it, or something like that. I think it, or maybe he, told a GM to go fuck himself or something. Maybe he did something like that. I don't know. I don't think it was anything off ice. I think it was just an internal thing to where this is why it's just in, because if it was anything off ice, the league would get involved, and they're not involved. It's just him and the team.
Yeah.
So it has to be something internally. So I think it's better for him to be moved.
Now, my next question, where to?
Oh, God.
I mean, of course, you want to say Oilers. I want to say Blackhawks, but
I honestly do believe the fact that the Oilers have no idea who their future goalies are moving forward. This guy still can play. He still can play very well.
Oh, of course. But...
he might actually can play better than both goalies we have with the defense we don't have, and still help you win games. I look at that as being, okay, hey, look, I will trade you this. And I will literally say that guy is a good enough starting goalie that a lot of teams nowadays would kill to have.
Oh, for sure.
And he's still young. I still think he's, 30, 31?
Yeah, he's early 30s.
So he still has years to go. So, yeah, if I was the Oilers, I would love to have something like this. I'm always going to attach Philly, because Philly and goalies are never ending.
That's very true. I could also see honestly, LA. They go through a ton of, like, Quick's been hurt a bunch this year.
He's on the block, apparently.
I can see it.
I also look at a lot of teams, that might not have goalie future prominent. So you look at teams, maybe like Minnesota, who may be wanting to get past the Devin Dubnyk phase. Or maybe you look at St. Louis as a potential.
Maybe Dallas.
That's another one. You can also look at possibly the Rangers, seeing what's past Lundqvist.
Yeah.
So there's plenty, or even Islanders.
Yeah, I see that.
So, but no, I honestly do think the Oilers would be fools not to look into this. I mean, if the price is too high, that's a completely different story.
Yeah.
But I think they're fools not to look into it because they need stability in goal. Yeah. And they don't have it right now. Koskinen, yes, it's fine right now. But
he's a very good backup. He's a little bit shaky for starter.
Well, right now it's not for Edmonton. It's the fact that there is no good defense in front of the goalie.
That's true.
That makes it hard on any goalie, especially when you have your top three D men down.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Bobrovsky is that's that level past what you have now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just an everyday starter. He's a workhorse starter. That's what I think. Like, I do think the Oilers need to look into this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't think he's going to command 7.5 next year. So I think he's making north of 7.
I don't think he'll be making that much.
All
4 to 5.
On this negative thing, I could see 5.5, 6.5, and I think
I'd say 4 to 5.
Right now, you're spending 6 and a bit on your starting goalie now. Okay, bring in Bobrovsky, and then bring up a rookie next year to be your backup. Like, you have some internal supply like that, whether it's like that Rodrigue or that Dylan Wells, who I hear a lot of things coming up.
Yeah. How about did you see the charging incident that Paul Byron had? He got 3 games for charging Panthers defenseman Mackenzie Weegar. I guess something about he hit him in the head. And I didn't see it, but I guess he said that he doesn't normally do that kind of stuff, but he agrees with the call and he is very sorry, doesn't want to do it again.
So he took ownership for
it? He did, which you gotta respect that.
I don't know. It's weird. This is going to come off like an Oilers fan bitching about the hits on McDavid, but it's not. I really do find that there's a lot of inconsistencies with the refs this year.
Oh, it's the same with last year and the year before, though.
But, like, you see it in Vancouver with hits on Peterson. You see it. In the last week and a half, you have seen an elbow to the mouth, a blatant high stick that drew blood, and a cross-check from behind into the boards on Connor McDavid with refs watching it.
Yep.
And no calls. Those are like the highlight of the crap the NHL wants to make sure is a minimum.
Yep.
Stupid hits and headshots.
Yep.
And it's just amazing to me. Just amazing to me how that stuff is literally seen, not called. And then you look at other players. I don't even give a shit about McDavid being a star player, because that's a completely different thing. Because I don't think star players should get any special treatment. Mm-hmm. But my God, if you are allowing guys to get socked in the fucking mouth, high sticked with blood, which last time I thought was an automatic double minor.
It should be.
And then a cross-check from behind into the boards. I can understand that one a little bit, given how the play got there, but it's still a hit that you need to wipe away.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't even want to go back to the Jujhar Khaira incident, which just made no sense to me. But I mean, Jesus Christ, like, the refereeing right now is just so inconsistent that I can understand why players are just as confused and why fans are confused, because I just don't get it.
On a side note, it's 2-2 in the third now between Vancouver and Edmonton. Midway through the third. Now, did you also hear that a few people retired? One of them being Rick Nash.
Yep.
Guess he's been suffering
Talk about hits to the head.
post-concussion symptoms. And he hasn't been able to get over it, so he decided to retire. And the other one that decided to retire was Josh Georges.
Yep. Saw that on the other day on Twitter, actually.
Which I don't know if he gave a reason to retiring, but after 13 seasons, Josh Georges is hanging it up.
I think he just never made a team, and then
Just decided that's enough.
Probably didn't get an offer.
Yeah, the only other retiring thing I have is the Flames are going to, most likely tomorrow, being Thursday, announce that Jerome McGinley's number 12 is going to be retired.
Yeah.
Which, absolutely.
STA represent.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably, if not, I'd say one of, if not their best player overall of all time.
Yeah, it's
not
hard.
necessarily stat-wise, but he was the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah, it's hard because I always put him and Theo.
Yeah.
Vernon was up there. You know what? I don't even think Lanny McDonald was in there just because he didn't play that long there.
Yeah.
But he did make a solid impact. Al McInnes was a great Flame.
Yep. Flamer.
Joe Nieuwendyk was a great Flame. Even like a guy like Mark Giordano now, great Flame.
Absolutely.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to say Gaudreau overtime will be.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know.
Hell of a good player.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, even if you're playing against him, you hate the team. You really can't hate him. It's hard to.
Well, you know, as a Northern fan, you can hate Gaudreau as much as a Flame fan, you hate McDavid.
No, I don't mean Gaudreau. I mean
No.
I hate Gaudreau. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, for anybody who's a Giants Flame fan and they were saying, oh, they didn't want to see Iginla go to the Oilers in that like last couple of years because they thought that would look weird. Imagine being a guy who grew up in St. Albert, whose brother played with Iginla for 1 year. The guy got drafted in Edmonton after the Oilers passed on him, and then he goes to the most hated team that the Oilers had.
Who did the Oilers pick?
Steve Kelly.
Solid choice.
It was either him, Doan, Steve Kelly.
Solid choice.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, don't think it's not weird to see Jerome Iginla be the captain of the Flames for so many years. That was great.
Oh, I bet. Also, the last man in All-Star picks are in, and Skinner, Letang, Landeskog, and Draisaitl made the teams.
Did you hear about the reason? Because who was the guy from the Leafs?
Marner? Or are you talking...
from their division.
Oh, from their division.
That got the last man in.
Oh, it was...
Okay, say the... Because there should be, what, 6?
There's 4.
4, yeah, sorry.
It'd be Skinner from theirs.
Yeah, so a lot of people were... a lot of Leaf fans were complaining that Skinner got in over Morgan Riley.
Okay.
And...
It's whoever got more votes.
And I'm like, okay...
That's...
Well, I mean, also, it's 3-on-3. You don't want to see defense. Just going to point it out.
But, I mean, really, it comes down to whoever got the most votes.
Like...
That's simple. Nothing. Draisaitl got in because McDavid's like, hey, help my buddy get on.
It's also
Boom, done.
top 10 in points, too. Like,
He's not that good.
all the guys are deserving, but when you have a 3-on-3 tournament, of course, less guys are going to get the nod.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's 3-on-3. Like, it's a different game.
Yeah. What else we have here? Brent Seabrook hit the 100-goal mark last night in a really messed up losing effort. 8-5 to New Jersey.
Whew. Defensive battle.
Oh, hard, yeah. At one point they were down like 7-2, so they kind of came back-ish. Speaking of not coming back, Anaheim's on a 12-game losing streak.
Yeah.
That must make you happy.
Well, I'm not crying over it.
Yeah, I can't see many people in this area crying over it at all. I think they're probably relishing that.
Yeah.
They're just going to give it a little ketchup and relish it a bit.
Let's just say, Ducks suck.
Yes, they do. Clearly. 12 games in a row. And then the last one I have for hockey is the NHL and the NHLPA have abandoned the possibility of hosting a World Cup of Hockey in 2020 due to the fact that it looks like there's an impending issues with the collective bargaining agreement. They can't come to terms. They're not making headway, so they're just going to abandon that, which I think just does the players and the fans a disservice. It sucks. What can you do?
Yep. Anytime I find that there is a collective bargaining agreement comes in, fans suffer the most.
Oh, for sure.
And
I mean, the players suffer, yes, but fans suffer.
well, fucking players don't suffer. They get everything they want.
Yeah.
They get what they want. The owners get what they want. The fans don't ever get what they want.
Yeah, that's true. And before we move on to football, baseball, and all that, I want to give it a Meniac MD Award of Excellence. You're not going to like this one because it's Connor Garland. In fact, he took a shot off the face, scored a goal with his face, and then came back and scored another goal, which personally I thought he kicked it.
I still think DeAndre Hopkins out of the Houston Texans, definitely huge consideration for that one.
Well, then start your own awards.
Just
start your own awards. Quit your bitching. I think what he did was admirable, but last week would have been the week to nominate him, and there was too much depressing stuff going on already. I didn't want to talk about it. Someone else dying. So that was my decision. Don't like it. Start your own. Go fuck yourself. Plus, football sucks. Actually, it doesn't suck. It's okay. It's okay.
Says the guy that got season tickets to football.
Yeah. What's the point? I said it's okay. Speaking of which, NFL playoffs. Talk about it.
Yeah. Well, first off, your boys, them Saints, win. Yeah.
Not my boys.
Hey, Lumberjack Larry. Yeah. He had the invite for the show. Didn't want to. Yeah, I know why you said
he definitely bailed on us.
Yeah.
And that's probably because his
Eagles You know who also bailed? Yeah, your Eagles after the first quarter when they decided not to ever actually play football for the rest of the night because they didn't do anything. So, that's why you're not on, because you know that I was going to rub it in your face that my team took your team out.
To be fair, I have two things to say about that. One, you would have because you're a terrible winner. And two, it's probably the case. That's all I have to say about that.
Hey, just, I know a lot of Eagles fans, so it felt good.
Oh, that's good.
Felt really good. And I just can't wait till the Patriots lose, because that'll feel really good, too.
I kind of want to see a Patriots-Saints final.
Yeah, me too. And
Battle of the new.
Battle of the very young quarterbacks. The 40-year-old against the 42-year-old.
I like it. Just showing you age is but a number.
Yeah. So we got the Rams coming
this Sunday?
Coming to the Dome to try to beat the Saints. I believe they tried that once this year and it failed. So we're hoping to make it a repeat.
And then it's the Patriots versus
the Patriots are in Kansas City to play the Chiefs.
I could actually see the Chiefs winning that one.
Yeah, a lot of people can. I still am taking the Patriots Saints here.
You can never count out Tom Brady ever. That's the fact. Him and Belichick together, you can never count him out. But I could actually see Patrick Peter Donovan Mahomes getting this done.
Can too. The one thing that does fear me about Kansas City is their defense. Now, a lot of people are like, they didn't play that bad last game. Yeah, the Colts also didn't do anything offensively. So that helps.
Yeah.
When Andrew Luck doesn't really throw
anything
much,
more than 100 yards.
Yeah, it doesn't help when the offense is just not clicking. So that's the thing. Tom Brady is not gonna, not click. And then he has Edelman, who had just a gigantic game. Then you have Gronk, who's always going to be there. Tom Brady can make a weapon out of, a paper towel if he can.
Yep.
So, and I know because Julius Edelman is a star. Boom. Burn.
There we go.
So, that's just the thing. Playoff experience matters. I want the Chiefs, but my money's on the Patriots. Of course.
Okay, $10 on the Patriots. You heard it. Go out, make your bets.
Of course. I'm going to be, repping my boys, the Saints, this Sunday.
So you think it's going to be Patriots versus Saints in the
Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. All right. Well, I'll go Chiefs versus Rams. Super Bowl. We'll see who's right.
That game has happened this year.
There we go. Yeah.
The Rams winning by a field goal.
There we go.
So,
Oh, speaking of field goals, you see that the Bears set up a 43-yard field goal game outside Chicago State or at the Soldiers Field,
and no one won.
0 for 101 people could get it. So you know what? That kind of shuts everybody in Chicago up.
Yeah,
which, you know what? Good for the Bears for doing that.
Bears also did not like the appearance that their kicker made on the morning show. Apparently, he ruffled some feathers by getting on that show. Apparently, he did it. He didn't go through the team to do it, which is.
Well, that's you gotta go the proper course of action there if you want to do something like that. So, I can see why they'd be a little upset.
But here's my thing: he didn't say anything bad, didn't do anything bad. He actually came off very gracious, very respectful, and if anything, he probably made you actually want the Bears to win a little bit more. So, I don't know. I think maybe it's just too close to the too soon. Maybe it was too soon.
Maybe just unfortunate timing. Yeah. But also, I don't know if you have anything for your Saints, but the Packers hiring former Jacksonville Jaguar offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator. So that's cool.
Let's just hope that when it comes to coaching, he can hack it.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be very nice.
Yeah, a lot of coaching changes in the NFL. We have Kitchens becoming the new head coach to the Browns, who I believe it was the Browns, right?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Kitchens? Sure. Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of them.
Yeah, no, it was because he then hired... now we can say former defensive coordinator and head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Chris Jones.
Let's say Roughriders head coach general manager Chris Jones leaves the team to take a job as defensive assistant with the Browns.
Apparently, too, the Riders actually have to hire one person to do both jobs, or they have to hire a defensive coordinator first before they do the other one, because apparently he was one guy who took up 2 spots on the staff. They can't actually hire 2 people. They actually would have to let go one before they did the other.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to, do you see that Clemson went to the White House and Trump served them McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King's, and pizza?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I guess it's probably because all of
you see the photo? There's a lot of
300 burgers. Yeah, that's probably because all of the government was shut down and he couldn't actually get anything made, so he had to just order in. But really, McDonald's?
Hey man,
I get it. You're champions, but take them for something. That's just weird.
Yeah, but maybe that's what they wanted.
Fast food. Oh, apparently there's reports of several of the players this is fucking weird. None of them really eat that because they're athletes. But whatever.
Losers.
Speaking of athletes, 2-sport collegiate star Kyler Murray announced Monday that he's going to declare himself for the 2019 draft. So, a.k.a. last Monday.
Well, and then I'm trying to remember what legend was. I think it was a football player. I want to say it was Deion Sanders. I think he said, "Hey, here's some advice. Go to baseball."
You're already signed by the Oakland A's. Go play for them. They're going to offer you. I think they said they're willing to offer him a couple $1 million signing bonus.
I think it's not even just the money. I think he's saying it more so about health.
Protect your fucking brainstem.
Yeah.
Speaking of protecting brainstem, J.C. Sherritt of the Edmonton Eskimos officially announced his retirement.
Yeah.
So thank you for the 8 seasons.
8 seasons, yeah.
All 8 of them with the Eskimos. So thank you for those.
He'll get his name on the Wall of Fame.
I think so. He ended up winning
2 or 3.
2. No, 2005. No, he won 1. Because they won 15, and then before that was 2005, and he was only here 8 years. So he won 1, but still, it's not bad. Won a great cup. Also, what are your thoughts on the whole draft, the Mexican draft, as I've been calling it?
I think it was
CFL doing the Liga de Fútbol Americano Profesional.
I think it was a fail, for one.
Well, it just seems weird. I get it. They're trying to expand, trying to get more people, more eyes, be different, whatever. Expand and actually have teams in Mexico. Build more teams in Canada first. Like, actually get Halifax off the ground. You know, put the team somewhere else. I don't know, Quebec City. I don't know.
Well, he does want to play exhibition games, I think, in Mexico.
That just seems.
And it's just so,
it seems like
it's just weird.
It just seems like the NFL and the
If
NHL.
you're talking about Big Macs at the White House being weird, the Canadian Football League in Mexico, weird.
I totally agree. The fact that it looks like CFL is trying to go after the same thing that NFL does over in Europe. The NHL is going like China in Europe. It's just no. There's no need. Stop it. But anyways, so the Eskimos got 3 picks, and they got the first overall pick, which they chose wide receiver from the Mayas, Diego Viatmos Contura. I probably butchered the hell out of that name.
See, if the only people I think I would have taken was either like the most athletic guy that I saw, regardless of position.
Maybe that's wide receiver.
Or a kicker.
Ooh, kicker would be smart. The second pick at 10, they chose linebacker Daniel Carret Landeros. And then at third pick at 19, a defensive back, Jose Alfonso Romero. So there's that. I guess that's cool. I personally don't. It's weird. Build it up within this country first. Like, they're doing well. They could be doing better, in my opinion.
Well,
which leads me to my next point. You say, I bought season seats. Yeah, solely for the Grey Cup experience, which, by the way, never going again. I know we've talked about it, but never going again. Have I bought season seats this year? No. Will I? No. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to go, but it's expensive for how many games you get, and then on top of that, well, I should say, for the amount of games you get and
it's not like you can
the
always
price.
Go either.
Well, is for the amount of games you get and the price, it's actually not bad. That's partly why I did it. But the schedule came out. I'm working out of the 9 games they play, including preseason. I'm working 5 of them, so I can only go to 3.
I'd much rather do season tickets if Edmonton gets a lacrosse team back, to be honest.
That I would do. Yeah.
Still miss the rush.
Yeah, that would be nice. But it's okay. Halifax is getting a team.
Which, by the way, NL season starting up.
There we go. Yeah. Moving on to Blue Jays. Russell Martin got traded
to the Dodgers, which actually makes my Dodger Martin shirt relevant again.
There you go. So they traded him and cash consideration to the Dodgers for shortstop Ronnie Brito and right-handed pitcher Andrew Sopka. I think it's how you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, the Blue Jays also signed right-handed pitcher David Phelps to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract, includes club option for 2020.
Yeah.
And the last thing, which made me very happy, the Blue Jays signed Kevin Pillar to a 1-year, $5.8 million contract. Extension, yes. Thank God for that, because if they traded or got rid of Pillar, I don't know if I would have been able to continue to cheer for him. He's basically the only reason I watch.
They sell smoke.
That's fine, but Pillar's my favorite. He's my baseball Gilmore.
They're going to have Guerrero, and that's going to be your new favorite.
No, it'll probably still be Pillar. Anyways, that's all I got for any of that. Do you have anything to add? Baseball, football, anything else?
Well, it looks like the Phillies are primed to be the front runner to sign Harper. And then it looks like the White Sox supposedly offered Machado a 7-year, what was it, like $125 million?
But he's pissed off because he wants 8.
Well, no, apparently that never happened through, according to Machado's agent.
Yeah.
So, said there are talks, but that's not so it'll be very interesting because the idea of signing both Bryce Harper and Manny Machado, very possible still, because Joe Madden from the Chicago Cubs said they're definitely not going to have Harper. They're not signing Harper.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I still want to see him just go to like a random team, like Oakland or something.
Yeah, that'd be different.
Who apparently could be leaving.
It'd be awesome if he went to Toronto, but that's not going to happen.
I don't want to be a fan of the Blue Jays again.
Well, then don't. Just be a fan of him.
Their management fucks up their
big
team.
Bandwagon jumper.
Well, not a bandwagon jumper.
Every team he goes to, you jump on that team. It's a bandwagon jumper, by definition.
No. If they win, you're a bandwagon jumper.
No, not at all.
I am just supporting one player.
Then you wouldn't have to worry about cheering for the Blue Jays. You'd cheer for him.
Yeah.
You could boo them, the other 11 guys up or whatever, and then...
I mean, hey, in order for your player to do well, he has to win the big one, right? He has to win the World Series. Yeah.
Doesn't have to, but does help.
Yeah. And then he gets more... we've had enough conversation on here. Apparently rings make you the best of all time.
Which I don't agree with.
No. So...
I mean, look, if that's the case, then Mark Messier is better than Wayne Gretzky. He's got 2 more than him.
If that's the case, Eli Manning is better than Drew Brees.
That I agree with.
And Aaron Rodgers.
That I agree with too.
All right. So, yeah. But even by definition, like, you have so many people that are just like, it's just like, what, Chris Kunitz is better than Wayne Gretzky? Or just as good?
Just as good, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Marc-Andre Fleury, or something like that?
He's almost as good.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. If we're going by that, I'd say it was
Justin Schultz is better than Connor McDavid.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking hands down. If we're going by that, I think Jean Beliveau might be the best of all time. He's got like a ridiculous amount of cups.
I don't think he has the most though.
No. Scotty Bowman has the fucking most.
Yeah.
And I agree, he is probably the best coach of all time. He's got like 1,200 something wins. That one actually backs up. That one I agree with. He's got 4 with Montreal, 2 with Pittsburgh, 3 with Detroit.
Well, it's never when you win them all, like, doing one thing, right? Like, he won them all coaching, so it's like, okay, cool. That one's undisputed.
Era?
Yeah.
Shock the system. Anyways, that's all I got. What do you got coming up this weekend? This weekend.
This weekend, I don't have anything coming up. I'm actually from, and I'm not going to say appearance-wise, but from a performance-wise, you won't see me till the first Saturday of February.
Okay.
With Monster Pro Wrestling, where apparently I am involved in the Eliminator for the number 1 contendership for the provincial title, I guess.
Yeah, you get your rematch.
So,
there you go.
No, not to the title. Number 1 contendership.
I'm assuming you're winning it. So you're getting your rematch.
So a title that I'm not chasing. However, right after that, we got Pure Power Wrestling and the Power Rumble on the 16th.
Cool.
And then, as announced, will be Pride versus myself at RCW Bruderheim.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
On the 23rd, I believe that is.
Nice.
So, yeah. How about you?
Well, remember when I told you that next week you'll find out what my plan is? Those plans fell through. So I have a meeting next week. So hopefully by next week's podcast, I can let you all know what the plan for 2019 is from good old Meniac. Because as of right now, there's a possibility of something coming up, but nothing definite yet. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, let's just say that the future of Meniac
is up in the air.
Yeah, there's just a question mark right there.
As of right now, yes. Future of Meniac, vacant.
I don't think it's vacant. I think
it's question mark. It's run by vacant.
Yeah. Well, vacant is from what I understand, he's got contractor worker.
Yeah. As of right now, I am not contractor worker. So hopefully,
you're Tibbet.
Yeah.
To be determined.
Hopefully, CWC. It's I guess my only contract as of right now. Hopefully they pick up soon, so that way I can start wrestling.
I'm hearing the rumblings that March 9th could be the next CWC show.
Okay.
Which is, deeming on the birthday weekend of one Mrs. Meniac and myself.
Yes, it is.
who share pretty much the same weekend all the time. Although she's a Sunday this year. I'm a Monday. So, same week. Week starts Sunday.
Yep, I agree.
So.
Yes.
I think that'll do it.
Yep. For all of us here at Backbreaker Media, presented by Win Column Sports Network, go to the description below. That's all our stuff. Do all that. Buy all that. Get all that. Be all that. Tag struggle.
And remember, 2019 is the year of #Alberta Wrestling. And if you want
Alberta Dream Team.
And if you want to make sure you can catch all that, make sure you check out Backbreaker Media division of Win Column Sports and the Power Slam TV.
There you go.
That's another big one as well. And then you want to also make sure that you check out as many shows as you can possibly see, because you go to one show, you might not know who you see, because guess what? I might not even just stay where you think I stay. I might just go wherever I damn well please.
Yep. Tag struggle. We be everywhere. Yeah.
We are a brand. Baby.
Oh, before we go, also I'm taking you up on your challenge from last week. 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to attempt to do my own podcast. Don't worry, I'll still do this one, but I'm going to attempt to do one of my own as well, just to see if I can do it. So keep your eyes peeled in Backbreaker Media, presented by Win Column Sports Network, for that. So there we go. That's all I got.
You're gonna do a lot more talking in your truck, aren't you?
All the talking in my truck. I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna live in here.
Yay.
Yay.
That'll do it for episode 110 of The Sons of Struggle. I am Chris Perish.
I am Meniac.
And we are Tag Struggle.
We are real.
And we are
spectacular.
And that's a little bit of all right.
Mostly strugglelicious.
Yeah. Completely strugglelicious. And, until next time, we will see you later, bitches.
When your heart's pounding out of your chest, you can feel the rope shaking as you're running out of breath. If you're ready to rock, we'll just let it roll. Are you ready now? Are you ready to move? Let's see, just move.